No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actors to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. Today on Open Conversation, we'll look at these stories. First, River State. Court nullifies PDP congresses. And then on to Edo Guba trial. APC Supreme Court's case stalls Igodalo's petition hearing. On Lagos State, law has impeached Speaker Obasa, suspend clerk. On 2027, SDP rules out alliance with Atiku El-Rufai. And on PDP crisis, Anyanwu defies court order, resumes as national secretary. We are open for advert placements, bookings and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the show.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
Will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I thought that we needed to leave of this minister and the president. Give us access to our money. I've always said there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe now is not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody. and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, appropriate critical belief of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money. I've always said there are two sets of people: the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe that it's not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are? Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, appropriate critical belief of this minister and the government.
Give us access to our money. I've always said there are two sets of people: the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which I am.
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians believe that it's not about the company. Who can come and salvage us from where we are? Representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, appropriate critical belief of this minister and the government.
Give us access.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Nze Nze, a political analyst, and he also prides himself as the man of the people. Good morning, Nze. Happy New Year.
Advocate of the masses.
Advocate of the masses, yes.
Happy New Year. Seeing your face, afresh this 2025, it's like this year it will be very, very fantastic.
Of course, it's going to be fantastic. And I'm sure we also have a very fantastic show, Nze, as always.
All right, it's a promise I'm getting from you. It's a promise, so I will hold you by your word.
All right, very well. I also have with me on the show Honorable Kingsley Akumefle. Honorable Kingsley is a political analyst and a regular on Open Conversation. Good morning, Honorable, and welcome.
Good morning, Laurentia.
And how have you been enjoying yourself this period?
Yes, throughout the Yuletide, we're just seeing rivers people packing cows and goats and all that, enjoying themselves, and we're just watching.
Packing cows and goats. I
Goats,
thought
cows,
that.
rice. In fact, if you see what is happening, but however, we thank God we are still here. We're watching.
Did you pack cows?
I'm not part of the simplified movement.
Oh, you mean simplified movement?
They're just dashing cows, goats. That's their own style of politics.
Oh,
but we're waiting for politics. Very soon, the political season will be here.
All right.
Then we know those who are politicians and those who are rice and cow eaters.
All right. Talking about politics, Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt, the state capital, on Monday nullified the ward local government and state congresses of the People's Democratic Party conducted in 2024. Justice Stephen Jumbo issued an interlocutory injunction restraining the executives who emerged from these congresses from functioning as officers of the PDP in the state. The ruling followed a suit filed by two Port Harcourt-based lawyers, Edwin Woko and Love Otuonye, along with two other party members against the PDP national chairman, the state chairman, Aaron Chukwemeka, and 9 others. The applicants had prayed the court to nullify the congresses held on July 7, August 10, and August 31, 2024, alleging that they were conducted in flagrant disobedience to a court injunction issued on July 16, 2024. The injunction had barred the PDP, its national chairman, the Independent National Electoral Commission, and their agents from organizing congresses pending the determination of the originating summons. The claimants argued that the congresses violated the court's orders and requested an interlocutory injunction to set aside the congresses held across 319 wards, 23 local government areas and the state, and restrain Chukwuemeka and others from acting, representing, or parading themselves as members of the PDP State Executive Committee. Others include to declare themselves, the claimants, as the authentic and subsisting members of the PDP State Executive Committee, and direct the PDP and its national leadership to recognize and deal with them accordingly. After hearing arguments from both sides, held the applicants' prayers, nullifying the congresses and the other respondents from acting as executives of the party in the state. The court recognizes the applicants as the authentic and subsisting members of Rivers State's Executive Committee of the PDP, the ruling stated. Okay, Nze, let me start from you. What do you make of the story?
You know, hearing that story yesterday when it breaks, you know, it was surprising to some of us, and it is, and judgment and all that, it is becoming one too many. And the question is, why is it that judiciary is a battle axe in the hands of political gladiators? Because I don't like what I am seeing. The people who are the receiving end are the masses. Yes, just the judgment definitely will be appealed if it is not yet appealed by now. But however, when we look at what brought about the judgment, we begin to look from the other angle. You see the way politicians disobey court order. It is not right. And we are saying, look, do not, because of your personal interest, destroy the interest of Nigeria and our judicial system, our political system, and the rest of that. But the politicians will not agree to that. Now, prior to that congresses, there was a court ignored the court order and conducted the congresses, and it held, and they celebrated the victories of those that emerged winners. Now, at the end, people kept on going to court. Now, look at the kind of judgment that has just come from Justice Jumbo, that the Emeka Beke led parading themselves, and you are now recognizing Woko and
led executive stop parading themselves.
Yes, and you are now recognizing
Woko and Otoye.
So the question is, who are they in this? Did they contest election and in the first place? If they did not contest the election, why is court coming now to impose them on PDP? I'm not a member of PDP, so I may not. In fact, to me, their name is strange. I'm just hearing that for the first time, and you know, coming to see them just appearing, and court is saying they are now the subsisting executives of Rivers State PDP. How? Because I know there are people who believed the whole thing, and there are people who will be rejoicing that they have removed Chukwuemeka. It is true that we Nigerians are not clear. We don't think straight. That concerns every other person. We concentrate on the way it pleases us. Like as it stands now, I know there are people that will be drinking beer, you know, rejoicing in the, you know, eating meat in the bar, you know, because
of the outcome of
the outcome of the judgment. But to me, it is not good. It does not tell good about Nigerians. It does not tell good about Rivers State. It does not even tell good about PDP as a political party. So that is to me not anything for anybody to rejoice about. Rather, we should look at the system and see how we are sliding down the drain, and should be able to tell ourselves, man, we are missing it. We need to come back. Because I'm not expecting an American to come and fix Nigeria for us. I'm not expecting somebody from Benin Republic or even Nigeria to come and fix Nigeria for us. It is we Nigerians that must fix Nigeria. And if we fail to do so, then it is very, very clear that at the end of the day, the children we are giving birth today, we inherit anarchy from us. So what kind of people will they call us? If at the end of today, look at some of us now who are giving birth to children, asking them study law, study medicine, study this, so that you become somebody tomorrow. But the society you want to give to them is in shambles.
Right.
So what kind of life is that?
Right.
So I did not applaud this judgment at all, honestly.
Now, two things. There is an action and a consequent reaction. Number one, there was a court judgment restraining PDP from going ahead with that particular Congress. But PDP held Congresses in disobedience to that court judgment and that court order. Now, the question would be, did PDP attempt to vacate that order? Because, I mean, even if you feel an order of the court, it's ridiculous. The court does not have jurisdiction. Is it in your place or in the place of a political party to say the court does not have jurisdiction? Or would you rather appeal to a higher court to vacate the order or give judgments in favor or against?
It is not in the place of the political party to ascertain the court that has jurisdiction over a matter or not. It is court that knows. It is the court that knows, either the court or the judge that knows the court that has jurisdiction over a matter.
All right. So if PDP did not vacate that order that restrained the Congresses from holding, wouldn't one say that this ruling is in line with what should be?
To me, I will, in as much as I'm not condemning the ruling, the judge has done his duty.
Your concern was recognizing persons who were not elected.
How can that be?
Now that's
is Nigeria now
throws a shadow on the
Nigeria
entire
now
process.
tinted to a situation where someday court will just wake up and say, Fubara is no longer a governor. Let Honorable Kingsley become the governor. And he saw that, why? Maybe he might be, just as we are here now in the studio, there will be a breaking news that court has affirmed Honorable Kingsley Akmefula as the subsisting governor of Rivers State. That sin is removed. What kind of society is that?
All right.
So that is my concern. And for PDP to ignore the order of the court and go ahead to do what they were doing, except if they have a superior reason why that should, perhaps they try to either appeal the judgment or whatsoever.
All right. Very well. Very well. Honorable Akumefule, what do you make of this story?
Thank you. Before I would say my position on this matter, let me take some briefs from what he just said.
All right.
Court in Nigeria has really become the major challenge we have today in Nigeria. You are asking, or perhaps saying that maybe one day court can declare Honorable Kingsley Akmefule governor. It's possible because the courts in Nigeria have done that. The governor of Imo State today, the court became the people who voted. Court became INEC who counted the result. Court became the returning officer who declared those Odema as governor. A man who was in number 4 position after the election was declared a governor in this country. So courts in this country, and even when you talk about what is happening today in the party, it didn't start today. Remember when Rotimi Amechi was the governor of Rivers State, Felix Obua never contested for the party PDP congresses that brought about Gio Ake as in the second tenure as the party chairman. But because of the crisis that we had then, and our brother Yesu Uge was at the center as minister as at that time, and Gulo Jonathan was the president, courts manipulated the whole system and brought Obua as party chairman and immediately declared that they should not be. So what the courts in Nigeria are doing didn't just start today. And I see everything as politics. I have always said it here. Politics is about interest. Wherever your interest lies is where you protect. And so, as it is today with this judgment, first, there has been a Supreme Court judgment. In fact, we were part of those who went to court and the Supreme Court gave that judgment that matters of political parties, that the parties are supreme, that the courts do not have powers to decide on party congresses and whatever it is as legal party positions. It was given by, in fact, 2 times by the Supreme Court. It was the matter between when we were having crisis with Rotimi Amechi my faction, the Magnus Abe faction, and Rosemary faction, during the 2017-18 congresses in this state. And we got to the Supreme Court, and court said parties are supreme. And so that has been the reason for which every political party in this country takes whatever decision they make from the center as the final. Remember, political parties are not registered in the state, they are registered at the national. And so when NEC has taken a decision, or perhaps ceded their powers to the NWC, and NWC takes any decision in the party, that decision becomes supreme. Whoever you are in that political party, whatever you do is inconsequential. And borrowing from that judgment, we have seen a lot of judgment in parties where at the end of the day you will still go back to that judgment. And that was the reason for which when courts gave an injunction stopping PDP from conducting their world, local government and state congresses, they disobeyed, borrowing a leaf from that judgment and said, no, you don't have the power. They went ahead and also appealed that matter and then conducted their congresses. As I speak with you, that matter is an appeal.
Was there stay of execution?
Yeah, they stayed that execution and appealed the matter. This injunction that said they should not
gave rise to this.
They should not conduct the congresses, both world, local government and state, was stayed and appealed at the appeal court. And that matter is still with appeal. And today, a high court in the state is giving a judgment nullifying a matter that has been appealed in a higher court. I don't just understand what is happening. Like you said, the name that they reeled out here, nobody have heard about those names in this state. Chukwuemeka Aaron was appointed as caretaker when his tenure elapsed. Even the governor of the state, Simila Efobra, acceded to it. He accepted the appointment of Chukwuemeka Aaron as caretaker of the party. And now Chukwuemeka Aaron, while the issue started brewing, the party gave dates for congresses. They conducted this election and he emerged as chairman and all with all his excuse. And today, Justice Jumbo is giving I don't just understand. But for me, let me tell you the truth. Even if there was a judgment by Justice Jumbo and whatever it is, the law said you have the right to appeal. Yes, the matter is in the appeal. And again, another judge has given a judgment. Chukwuemeka Aaron still remains the party chairman in the eyes of the law. Because this same matter, within the period that the law has given that he should appeal, will also be appealed. If he has not appealed that matter by now, he will still appeal. And while he has appealed, he still remains the party chairman until this matter travels to the Supreme Court, which is the arbiter of courts that will give whatever judgment it is. So whoever is rejoicing or doing whatever it is that he has been removed is just playing games. This is politics, and we're in Nigeria and we understand politics of political parties.
Now, yes. It appears that both PDP and APC in Rivers State are in the same boat right now, because you recall that the APC congresses, there was also a court judgment that annulled the outcome of the APC congresses over similar outcome as well. Yes,
this is just the same thing. Like I said, in 2018, 2019, that judgment that said that parties are supreme by the Supreme Court was gotten by the APC. And today, every other political party is now citing that particular judgment. And so when the issue of the congresses of APC came up, the party also said, we have a judgment that said parties are supreme. And so no other court that is bigger than the Supreme Court. And so we're going ahead with our congresses. They went ahead with their congresses because the neck of the party, ceded their power to the NWC, which pronounced the dates for the congresses. And so whoever you are in the party, you are you are submissive. You are supposed to submit yourself to the party's authority. We do not have two parties in Nigeria. Each party is one. APC is one. PDP is one. And all these parties have their headquarters at the national, where these parties we are registered. So all we have are chapters of these parties, and these chapters do not have their own constitution outside the national constitution.
All right, very well. Still dwelling on a particular point that Nze raised, you know, when he talked about the presence of Edwin Woko and Love Utonye.
Yes.
And he said that these people, you know, up until now, they are unbeknownst to him, and you are also, Nze is of the Labour Party, you are of the APC. So, I mean, you people are of the opposition to PDP, and to a large extent, you know yourselves. Now, Nze is saying, I have never heard this name before. Now, you're saying at no point, you know, are you aware that such a person ran for elections, even prior to this time?
Yes.
You know, ran for elections. Now, the question would be, citing the Supreme Court judgment, you know, that APC got in favor of political parties having supremacy over their internal party affairs, would one say it was an overreach in this instance for the court to impose, because the court restrained Chukwemeka and restrained the National from recognizing them, and also, you know, imposed these people on PDP and say the PDP National must recognize them and deal with them as the executives in Rivers State. Now, people who at no point were elected by the members of the party. What do you make of this, and how do you see this causing more crisis in PDP in Rivers State?
Okay, the truth is there won't be any crisis.
Is it not factionalized by the
There won't be any crisis. See,
judgment?
political parties are designed this way.
Okay.
Because of political interest, everybody will want to fight for his own survival. And so whatever style or strategy you would want to use to survive, you go ahead to survive. Because today in Nigeria, we've seen over time that the judiciary has become the bane of our Nigerian political system. The moment you have access to whatever judge or whatever court, you can buy any judgment. It is no longer gainsaying. We are all aware of this. And so I think that this whole matter, no matter the quagmire you see around this same issue, it will still end when you get to the Supreme Court. And so whatever
state crisis and the political undertone and the implication of these judgments on PDP as a political party.
Very simple. The political undertone is that the governor of Rivers State is looking for a way to have firm grip of the party structure in the state, which he does not. And so he's doing everything humanly possible to see how he grabs the party structure in the state. Of course, remember, before now we've been hearing the issue of you cannot take my structure, you don't have a structure. The structure has been the problem.
And you recall that APC at some point, when they were taking a swipe, I think that was Tony Okocha, when he was taking a swipe at the governor, said that the governor is partyless.
Of course, as it is today, he doesn't have a party. That is why you see them using the word simplified.
Edwin Woko, on the other hand, you know, prior to this time, has in recent times though has made one or two statements and pledged allegiance to the governor of Rivers State. And the few times he has spoken, it has been in the favor of the governor of Rivers State. So it appears that PDP right now is factionalized.
Like I said before now, the factionalization of PDP is not because of this judgment. PDP have been factionalized.
Right.
And we in the APC, we are happy that the decimation of PDP is very fast. And we are very, very happy because the time for 2027 is very, very close. And so what I'm saying, in essence, is that what is happening is the fight for the control of the structure of the party in the state, which the governor
isn't that now you're write it off. You're happy that PDP is decimating fast in Rivers State because 2027 is close. And while you're busy, you know, rejoicing at the balkanization of PDP, you have also forgotten that APC itself, Honorable Kingsley, is also balkanized as well. You have the Tony Okocha faction and you have the Emeka Beke faction. And now this is a court judgment. It's also a court judgment recognizing Emeka Beke as against Tony Okocha, and Emeka Beke has pledged allegiance openly to the governor. Now, one would say that Emeka Beke, who has pledged allegiance to the governor, has found favor with Rivers State High Court, and has been, the court has given judgment recognizing him as the APC chairperson in Rivers State. Edwin Nwoko, on the other hand, of the PDP, has pledged allegiance to the governor, and the Rivers State High Court as well has also recognized him and given judgment for him in favor of being the PDP chairperson. So while you're rejoicing that this is happening to PDP, don't you think PDP and APC, your party APC, they are in the same boat, Honorable Kingsley?
You know I'm laughing at?
Go ahead.
I have traveled this journey. I was at the center of the whole fight between Rotimi Amaechi and Magnus Ape. So we have traveled this whole journey, and we all know where it ended with us. We also know where it's going to end. So no matter the courts, no matter the whatever it is, these two persons you listed, Emeka Beke and Nwoko, look at them very well. They look at the case between Golden Benchama and Emeka Beke at the time we had our own crisis. For the fact that the leadership of the party, in quote, at the national, have recognized Tony Okocha will succeed. For the fact that the leadership of the party at the national, for PDP, recognize Chukwuemeka Aaron will succeed. Right. No matter how you see it. Like I said, I am not against the governor struggling to capture the soul of the party structure in the state. He's playing politics. I'm not against him. Of course, if you are in the state and you know what's happening to the man, you won't blame him because he's just struggling. He's just struggling. Like I said before, a man who is drowning in the river will always look for every access to lay hold on anything, whether it's straw or whatever it is. So the governor is at his own will, can do whatever he wants to do, but I know that he will not succeed. It's as simple as that.
You cannot say the governor will not succeed.
In this fight for party structure, it's not possible. For now, he doesn't have an ESCO in the state, in the local government.
Well, according to the court judgment he has.
Which court judgment?
We have Emeka Beke on one hand.
Nobody knows.
All right, very well. Nze, you've been itching to say something. You have the floor. Go ahead, Nze.
When we analyze these things, we help people to streamline their mindset towards all this. I have always said that in as much as I'm not applauding this judgment, but can we really take this thing down and pieces it bit by bit?
Go ahead.
Now, look at my friend, Honorable Kingsley here, is rejoicing that PDP is somehow disintegrating in the state. And hopefully by 2027, they will do to PDP what PDP did to them in 2019. You know, that kind of thing. But the point here is this. The PDP that you are rejoicing that is scattering is as well looking at APC as being also suffering the same fate. Because we see, like he said that Governor Similaye is partyless. In fact, to me,
Tony Okocha said that not.
No. He agreed with Tony Okocha's statement that the governor is partyless.
Very correct.
Now, to me, Tony Okocha is also partyless. Wike is partyless. Emeka Beke is partyless. Do you know why? When you see APC man beating PDP drum in the name of Tony Okocha, and you see Emeka Beke APC beating PDP drum for Similaye Fubara. Tony Okocha is playing for Wike. Beke is playing for this man. So you see that.
So Rivers State is partyless.
The state is somehow becoming partless because even the Chukwuemeka Aaron, it is, in fact, to me, I would say that Chukwuemeka Aaron holds more firm grip on party
structure
in Rivers State than Tony Okocha and the rest of them.
Why do you say that?
The reason is that he is PDP and he has no rival except now. All this while, nobody comes to say I am factional leader of PDP.
Edwin Nwoko just started.
Edwin Nwoko just emerged from the blues, and the court has given him the right of chairmanship of PDP in Rivers State. Now it is called Congress. Now it is called Congress. Which means in Rivers politics, anything can happen. Miracles can happen. And somehow I begin to sense that it is like spirits are joining in the game now. Because spirits, their operations and their activities are always shredded in secret. You don't know, you will only see the performance, the manifestation of what they are doing. So we are beginning to look at the whole thing. But the question we are asking ourselves is, where will this lead us to? Like when my friend Honorable Kinsley said that the governor will not succeed, he was speaking with so much authority.
Confidence.
With so much confidence that I begin to wonder.
You observe that?
Yes, it's like there is something he knows that we don't know. And I begin to ask that question.
Do you want him to answer that?
No, he will not answer it until I finish with it.
You have the floor.
Is he a prophet or a soothsayer or native doctor that he's speaking that he is God, or whatever spirit that speaks to him has told him he has foreseen this future and governor will not succeed? The truth is this: I know that the governor is fighting for structure. And being the executive governor of the state, if he has good counsel, he will succeed. If he has good counsel. Look, the governor has just spent 1 year plus. And we are looking at about maybe another 1 year plus or 2 years. He will now finish his tenure. If he begins now to build a structure using the River State resources, mending fences, because I know that most of the guys that surround the governor are really blocking him from reaching out to people who will help him. I know that. Because there are several things, when he submitted the budget, I think I don't know if it is in this studio or another studio, I made the comment. I said, look, governor ought to have invited some certain people to that budget presentation, but he didn't do that. He invited those that will tell him, you are right, you are right. Sometimes bring in people who criticize you constructively. Not just those who are shouting, oh yeah, you are getting it.
But one would say Professor Mede held public hearing, I think in October. Professor Mede, the Commissioner for Budget and Planning, held public hearing, even though it was not publicized though. He had public hearing on the 2025 budget. And that was when he stated clearly that the governor was not going to present the 2024 budget to Martin Samuel-led House of Assembly. That happened in October. Yeah. Which, if such, I don't think if he publicized, because if he publicized, some of us would have gone there and maybe speak our mind. In as much as we love the governor and we want the governor to succeed, there are several things some of us know that the governor, neither the governor nor the people that surround him know. Nobody has monopoly of knowledge. And mind you, some of us that play, that every player that is outside the field seem to be the best player. I was watching one woman in social media who almost fell down. People were playing and she was pushing her leg. And I said, madam, you go window. But however, the truth remains that there are things. That is why the coach of every team is always outside the pitch. He watches from outside. He sees loopholes and he calls the people to order. So I expect the governor, I want the governor to succeed. I want him to gain structure with which he will contest the election in 2027, because it is very important for us that the governor consolidate on his good beginnings that we are seeing now. Because we are not scoring him 100%, but we know that he has started well. We want him to continue progressively on the things he has started. But don't you think the fact that this issue in PDP, to a large extent, doesn't it put the governor, doesn't it put him, at a disadvantage? Considering that Edwin Woko, like I asked, I've asked twice, in this segment, which congresses brought Edwin Woko? Even in the past congresses,
he never contested the election.
Did Edwin Woko contest? What is the locus for him to, as a PDP member, one can go to court to challenge certain actions of the party, but
and not ask the court to declare you when you have no
that's the thing.
No
now,
right.
Doesn't that put the governor now at a greater disadvantage? Because to a large extent, this matter definitely is not going to end here. And even when the court will be giving their judgments, they will also look at the party constitution to a large extent and what is obtainable. And also considering the fact that the Supreme Court judgment also said that one must have exhausted the internal party mechanism for reconciliation before even going to the court. In this instance, with what interpretation of the party constitution, did Edwin Nwoko emerge, or was he recognized? Now, at the end of the day, when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, how do you see this panning out in favor of the governor, considering that Edwin Nwoko is actually, more like, the governor's supporter in this entire crisis?
Now, except if there is anything the governor knows that we don't know, except if there is anything those who are advising him knows that we don't know. But for me, this judgment is dead on arrival. Declaration of Edwin Nwoko as subsisting chairman of PDP in Rivers State, to me,
Edwin Nwoko and
Otuonye, it is dead on arrival. Because look, to what will they stand on? Do you build something on nothing?
Is the national going to even recognize them?
Does the national know them in the first place?
All right.
To begin to think of recognizing. And if the national is recognizing them, from what background? From where? So the point is this. That's why we say that every leader that has weak councillors will not make it.
Now, when you look at this from the other hand, would you say that the more PDP and APC is balkanized, the weaker they get, the stronger APP gets? Have you thought about it?
I don't see APP
growing.
growing.
APP growing.
No. I don't see APP growing.
And to a large extent, you know that one thing that people have forgotten is that APP is also saddled with its own
internal challenges.
Litigations.
Yeah.
APP has a court matter, has a court case against it, where a member of APP has come out to say that he is the authentic chairman of the party and has gone to court. You recall that case last year, and has gone to court.
And we are still waiting the judgment of court to come on that.
That judgment is silent. And part of the prayers in the court challenged the emergence of the local government chairman, because he was also saying that these people were not the people that contested primaries. He said that APP
the people
had
they
held
get tickets.
Yes, that APP had held primaries prior to that time. Within the window of election, they had held primaries. The APP local government aspirants, they have been nominated and all that. They were just waiting for elections, and then overnight, this one came.
The list came from government house and all that.
They were now talking about a waiver and no waiver. That matter is still in court. And it appears that a lot of people have forgotten, because these are things that we play out probably at the 11th hour.
At the 11th hour?
Yes, at the 11th hour. Probably these are things that we play out. So now, even APP, on the other hand, I brought up this because you just said that APP, you don't see APP surviving. And there is also another pending matter, asking the INEC, telling the court to compel INEC to strike out APP as a political party, as a legitimate political party. And they cited the Electoral Act that says that what makes a party legitimate is that they must have won elections at all tiers, even though not the presidency, but at least you have someone in the National Assembly, you have someone in the state, you have someone, at all tiers. And in this instance, APP does not have no record of anyone.
Except the 23 local government chairmen.
That just came up.
22 local government chairmen.
Yes, that just came up now, and also their seats are also being challenged in court as well. So now when you look at all these things, these are judgments that may come in the 11th hour.
Do you know why I told you that APP will not grow? And in fact, it's not growing and will not grow. When you cut a plantain, you cut off plantain, you can carry that plantain and hang somewhere and conceal the underneath. Any passerby will believe that the plantain there is alive. But that plantain can be there for 1 week with green leaves, but it will never add in growth. That is just what happened in APP. Because the state chairman of APP is under litigation. The emergence of the local government and the ward councillors from APP is still subject to litigation of court. Now we begin to wonder, how will they grow? How many persons have joined APP since that time? Apart from the people that came in to do this, something they did. So, but I'm looking at it that if the governor knows all the time he's wasting trying to lay hold on PDP, he should have put in his resources in another viable political party and begin to build.
Maybe your party in this instance.
No. Already there is issue in Labour Party. Labour Party was the golden hen for the governor when his crisis began.
What happened?
But something happened which I wouldn't want to discuss
even
here.
the chairmanship of the Labour Party was being called Hilda Dokubo.
Yeah.
Was also is still under contention right now in court as
but
well.
However, the emergence of Hilda Dokubo is certain. I know to that extent.
All right.
And she stayed the Labour Party chair.
Yes.
But we are looking at the game that is ongoing. Like when I was talking in in the radio station, I told them that Labour Party have lost their ideology. So nobody will now come to say, Labour Party is still a political party to run with. No, except there is a reformation.
So what viable political party, what viable alternate party are you looking at?
We still have political parties like APGA. We still have political parties like ADP. We still have political parties like SDP. We see several political parties. We have about 19 political parties that contest.
As well.
They may not be viable at the national.
Won't the same crisis APP is facing now?
No.
Asking, okay, some of them have won.
Yes, some of them have seats somewhere now. If the governor, at some point, Celestino Meher entered APGA, trying to contest governorship through APGA in this same state, and we saw APGA pick life. That APGA is still in the heart of men. But since the governor lost out in Labour Party, now I had expected that he would switch over to APGA. And not just declaring for APGA. No, leave APGA. Don't declare, remain in PDP. Let your local government chairman remain in APP. Begin to build APGA at the grassroots. Build APGA until you solidify the ground. Now, most of your hitmen will be in charge of APGA. When the time comes, there will be defection. And since defection is allowed in the political terrain, then your men will defect. Then finally, at the dying minute, you defect and pick the flag of that political party, and you can run with it. Because in as much as we are talking of PDP is human beings. So, and you can imagine that even my friend here, Honorable Kingsley, who is APC, there is a way he will be fed. He will leave APC. After all, he left APC and joined SDP with Magnus Abe.
He will speak for himself. When
yes, I'm accusing him. I want him to speak. I'm accusing him openly because he was in APC when he left APC and joined SDP, and later he left SDP and back now and still leave APC to any other political party. If he sees that, because he has declared to us that not only that he declared, that's the truth, that politics is a game of interest. If he sees where his interest will be protected, he will go there.
All right.
So what the governor is supposed to do is leave this. There's this game we used to play when we were children. That I see him now playing with his in-house caucus. Within the government house. No, reach out. Yes, you are developing university, but build political structure.
Now that will still bring me back.
There are men you need.
That will still bring me back to the question I have asked severally on the show. And that question is this. Now, to a large extent, it is not a secret that most of the persons who one may call handlers of the governor or very close cronies of the governor right now, didn't support the emergence of the governor. And now, would you say to a large extent, because you have said that the governor, if he listens to the right counsel, and you have also said he's not getting the right counsel from the right persons. Now, this counsel is coming from people who, are close to him and who originally may not have supported his emergence. Would you say that to a large extent will play out with probably the quality of counsel, the governor might be getting? Do you think that will also play out? The
truth is that some of the people that are now dining and whining with him never supported him, yes. But you know that what made was that when he was under the umbrella of his political godfather, then the people were in loggerhead with his political godfather. And now he has detached himself from his political godfather.
They would rather be with him.
Now, they now see that it will be easier for them to get at his political godfather when they align with him.
Oh, okay.
So aligning with him does not mean they love him. He does not understand that.
Amechi said that.
Aligning with him does not mean they love him. Aligning with him was to stay by his side and kill his boss. And by the time they succeed in killing his boss, they will turn against him. Definitely. And we are all here. We will see it play out. So what I had expected is that why they surround you, sir, please see how much you can to expand your tentacles.
All right.
Get more people, more new people. In as much as he has some very much strong loyalists, we know, very strong die-hard loyalists. But he also have some people who have grudges against him, who has concealed their grudges. But because they are names, you know, when they talk about the faces of Rivers people, the face of Rivers people, he displayed his own face. And yes, when Wike came and displayed his own face, and we, the watchers, we were looking at the faces and we were counting the numbers. So we begin to ask ourselves, the faces we have with Yes Wike are more quality, strong base, and die-hard loyalists than the faces we have with a similar Fubara.
Okay.
So, and the government,
to a large extent, that will play out.
It will definitely play out. And some of the people who are dining with him today might Wike is a smart politician. Some of these people might reconcile with Wike at the dying minute, and the governor will find his feet. He will not be able to find his feet. So I am still suggesting strongly that while you are rejoicing that Edwin Woko and Love Otoye have emerged at this to give you structure, they can't give you structure because their legs are not on the ground. When I was in radio station, somebody called and said that in his village there is an adage that said that no matter how tall a tree is, it should know that the ground was there before it came. So no matter what they are doing, you know, telling you we are with you, these people were loyal to somebody before they became loyal to you. So when you check the things that bound them together before they had a face off, you should know that if there are things that can be mended, it may be mended any day. Their interest is presented to them. So for me, he's supposed to begin now to build structure gradually. He might even do it silently. For instance, if he calls Kingsley now to the government house and say, hey, please come, okay, he receives call, come and see me. And Kingsley, or he calls me, come and see me, and say, please, I want to develop this political party. What do I do? Say, oh, God will develop the political party, just sponsor it, but your name will not appear. And before you know it, you begin to see this political party having congresses in the local government and in the ward, electing leaders in the ward, in the chapters, because that is where the rating happens. By the time you do, these political parties will begin to hunt for strong political bigwigs. As you hunt them, you lure them into, give them some small reasons why they should join you. And when some of them are coming around, they are still holding the stake for you against when you will emerge. And before you know it, you see the start breathing. And while the political party is breathing, nobody will know that governor is having interest there. But it is the governor that is actually funding the political party. So when the time comes, he declares for it. But as it stands now, governor is partyless. He's not in PDP, except that he's the vice chairman of PDP Governors Forum. And that thing is just one individual candidate. One. So it is one vote he has there. And you see the battle that is going on at the national center of the PDP, that people are still fighting weak men, and weak men are fighting back. Anya will say that he cannot go out until Supreme Court says so. You see that kind of. So those battles are still ongoing. So while they are fighting over there and fighting here, he's supposed to quietly pull out and form his. When this GDI started, I am the Director General of OIGMI. Obi Tubo Grassroots Development Initiative in Rivers State. And to tell my structure is intact till now.
Right.
Many of them have been asked, go here, you go here. Why we are doing what we are doing, remember what our common interest. And that is it. Now, when GDI started, nobody knew that GDI would make the wave it made. But when Wike was raising it here and there, Amechi was still holding sway. I'm in charge. But Wike was busy building GDI in all the wards, in all the local governments. When GDI came out and said, we are here, the cuckoo couldn't withstand them. So that is what we had expected this man to do. But he seemed not doing it.
Right. So in your opinion, like you said the governor is also partyless.
He's partyless.
Okay.
His local government chairmen are partyless. Because even the APP...
His local government, they are in APP.
I said they are partyless. Do you know why? In the APP they entered. How did they become members of APP?
All right. They said waiver.
Waiver. From where? By who? The Wokekoro, who is claiming to be the APP state chairman, is under contention. I am the authentic APP, and I have the ward and local government, and I have my candidates. And that matter is settled. So if at the end of the day, that matter comes up, and court gives at 11th hour, and court gives judgment, tell me where they. So they're supposed to strongly. I called Chidokiwo, the local government chairman of Obiago. I said, boy, come, let's talk. Forget this issue of now you have seen money. Leave that 10. Normal. Remember where you are coming from. Come, let's talk. Make we give you sense. And he seemed too busy. Now forming too busy. Let him be busy. No problem. When the time comes, you will now come here and say, what I would have told you, let me now tell you, but it is too late.
All right, very well. Akumefile, a lot of allegations have been made on you, leveled against you by Nze. One, Nze said, they was questioning where your confidence is coming from, saying that the governor will not succeed, the governor will lose this fight. Nze is interested to know where your confidence is coming from. Then the second one, Nze also accusation you made against him, want him to answer for himself as well.
Is it not the balkanization of the local of the
yes.
parties?
So now, Kingsley Akumefile.
And also, if they call him to satisfy his interest, will he not move?
That was the thought that
he left APC to SDP, from SDP back to APC. So he keeps on running around. He can still run again if his interest is
so very well.
is met.
Akumefile, I'm interested to hear what your response will be.
Okay, first and foremost, I play politics with integrity. And since I joined politics, and I met Senator Magnus Abe, I've always remained very loyal and committed to him. And wherever he goes, I go. Wherever he stops, I stop. If he says he's no longer in politics today, I'll go back to the academic. I'm a PhD holder of organizational behavior. I'm not afraid of for what I'm here, and this is public. Before we went back to the APC, I was in the SDP with Senator Magnus Abe, and a lot of times, people who the former governor has sent have come to me. I can mention names here. Ambassador Desmond Akawo, you can read me anywhere. They had met me severally at the Nigeria Info, and they've offered everything they wanted me to take. I said, I'm not taking nothing. I never had a dime. When I organized the 1 million man march for Magnus Abe, we didn't have money. That program was less than 100 million. It was not my money. I was offered so much to abandon that program. And I said, no, I'm not going anywhere. And so, for me, I am satisfied following Magnus Abe. It's not about the money, but about the things I learned from him. And who I am today because of following Senator Magnus Abe. He's a young man who is very, very knowledgeable of so many things, very brilliant. So when you stay around so many things, that's on one hand. On the other hand, about what was the second issue?
You talked about your confidence.
My confidence.
You said the governor will lose this.
Of course, we all know that in politics, there are those who are kindergarten politicians, and those who are professional politicians, and those who are strategic politicians. Sim is not in the last two I mentioned. And so, Nyesom Wike is a very smart political strategist. What he would do in 3 years to come, he's already finished the planning. I'm telling you the truth. We have fought him, and today we are working with him. With all the intelligence we exhumed, we brought into the system and all that. Wike is a far smarter politician. Whatever you are planning now, he has planned it 2-3 years ago. Just watch the game and see. You acceded to the fact that 80% of Rivers politicians who are truly politicians are back with him. Some are with Sim like, and the other ones are there because they want to fight Nyesom Wike. Those who said they cannot serve master and serve his boy. Remember, those same people who never wanted to serve master and serve his boy are now serving the boy. It is interest. and the interest, we know what the interest is.
They are standing with the boy to hit the master.
For me, the game is 2027. And between now and mid-2025, you begin to watch the politics play out. Talking about local government, a lot of ways to pull them out very soon are there. I don't need to say it. You have said some. Also know that the State Assembly, is coming back very soon. And remember, they made a law stating how they want the local government to be run before a new election will be conducted, taking to the fact that the governor breached the law. The law in the case of conducting local government elections. There is a constitutional provision from the time of announcement of election to the time of every phase is there. He breached that protocol. And remember, the State Assembly held that against him. And that assembly is coming back. And a lot of things. You talked about the party, APP and all that. They were never members of the APP. And somebody is contesting that in court. And a lot of issues. So they should enjoy while it lasts. We all know what the game is going to look like. And we are not afraid. Like I said, I still maintain that Sim will soon understand the politics in Rivers State, because he and those who are around him do not understand where we're going to.
No, well, when you say the assembly, they are coming back, you said that twice. This matter is in Supreme Court.
It's in Supreme Court. I remember that there was an appellate judgment. The appeal court just gave a judgment recently, recognizing them as the authentic assembly members and asking the governor to go to represent the budget to them. That was what appeal court said.
2024 budget.
That was what appeal court said. While we were waiting for the governor to do the needful, he committed another crime by presenting 2025 budget. And so a lot of issues. He understands. And so that's why I said before that when you are struggling to come out of the river and you're drowning, whatever you see, you hold. That's what the governor is doing. I'm not against him. No governor will want to bow. So for him, it is even for him to say, Nyerishi, I'm sorry, sir, what I have done. So he just wants to, people are telling him, you don't know, say, be governor. No. So he's just swimming in that euphoria of you be governor, you be governor. Until when the last stroke will hit, he will now completely rest and not resting in peace. By the grace of God, he will not die. It's politics, but he will gently pull out of the game. All I am saying, Nigerians, is that the politics of Rivers State is very interesting. And we've been here for a very long time. And we know how the tide is. And it's swimming gradually to that point. It's as simple as that. It's
swimming gradually to that point. Nze, you're shaking your legs. So
yeah.
When you shake your legs like that...
I know you will not like to leave Rivers politics.
Go ahead.
But we are here. There is something I want to disagree with out of some of the things Honorable Kingsley mentioned here.
Go ahead.
He said he categorized politicians in the state and said that the governor is not in the top. The governor is among the baby politicians. I want to disagree with him vehemently on that.
Go ahead.
My reason is this. Bible says that power does not come neither from the west nor east nor south. God institutes men, and anybody that God is standing behind cannot go down. It doesn't matter how much you fight. So when we do all we do, from any time you see any group of people remove God from the game they play, God will prove himself. Because we see in the book of Judges where the father of Gideon told the king's men who came and said, bring Gideon out, let's kill him because he destroyed the altar of Baal. The father of Gideon, who was the priest of Baal, said, leave Baal to fight for himself. If he is God, he will fight for himself. So we know a God who fights for himself. And I think he's displaying it. I think in 2022, 2023, in one of the television stations, I made it very clear that the governor then has assumed God. And God of heaven will oppose him. I said that. And I was saying that with interest that another political party will hit his political party out. But by and large, his political party emerged. And now we were looking at it. I was like going back to swallow what I said before what happened. You see that God raised a man from within to bring it. And whether they like it or not, I believe that the governor cannot be chickened out the way Honorable Kingsley is presenting it, because God is behind that young man. And some of us,
you're talking as a clergyman.
I'm not talking as a priest. Some of us who travel the realm of the spirit can tell you authoritatively. Authoritatively.
Hold on.
No, that is my area.
Yeah, you're traveling in the realm of spirit.
For sure, that is my life.
Of River State politics.
No. That is my calling. Okay. I'm a clergy, I'm a priest. So I interact with spirits every day. It is a natural thing.
And the spirits have told you this.
No, I'm not saying that spirits have told me, but I'm saying as a man who traffics the realm of the spirit, we can tell you authoritatively that the man you call a baby politician may be the David that will bring down the Goliath.
All right, very well. As we round up,
yes.
What do you have to say to that?
Let me say this. You know, it's not good to commit the sin of apostasy. I've often said that somebody is taking the place of God, has even taken the place of the Holy Spirit, which is very, very bad. Listen, the Bible said that God...
They are taking the place of the Holy Spirit.
Yes, and that's what he's saying. That's the sin of apostasy. The Bible said that he knows them that are his, that he's not mocked. God is not mocked. He knows them that are his. And it is not in the place of himself who have taken the place of the Holy Spirit to tell us who is God's and who is not God's. Every one of us go to God. It is only God who knows them who are his. If sin actually is led by God, he wouldn't have done what he did. What he did in the first place was very, very derogatory before God. When you begin to fight the fingers that fed you, you want to fight the man who brought you into power. If you knew that you were following God, why would you even agree to follow that man that you think is bad, that is following the devil? The man you think that does not respect God, yet you followed him and joined the devil's camp. Now you want to jump out. You are jumping nowhere. The both of you should not say who knows God and who does not know God. It's only God who knows the people who are his. And at the right time, God will pass the judgment. It is even better that I don't pretend that I'm not God's and do what I'm doing than I pretend that I'm God and you are sinning against God. That is very, very bad. For me, Sim has already dug his pit.
All right,
we know where it's going to end.
Very well, gentlemen. I think at this point, we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap this show up at this point. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It just surprised me that suddenly Honorable Kingsley, I didn't know he's a priest.
Okay,
I didn't know he's a priest.
Now you know he's a priest.
He's not quoting Bible left and right.
Thank you so much, Inze, for coming. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much, my dear.
And thank you so much, Honorable Akumefu. It was a pleasure having you. I really did enjoy this session. And thank you so much, our viewers. But this is the much we can take on this episode of Open Conversation. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Laurentia Ugu. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.